How are you?
He does.
Good. It's a little windy, right? So here we are, a big night, Supergirl. How important is it to have Supergirl, especially these days with a lot of the issues that are going on?
Well, I think you can apply that very easily to what's going on, and I hope that it does make some people wake up a little bit. Hello.
I agree with you. Being a trailblazer yourself, how does this feel to walk this carpet tonight in another story that trailblazes a young woman?
Oh, well, as I was saying just a minute ago, I think I never expected any. How can you know the future? You really can't know the future. All you can do is be ethical to your own ideas. Fortunately, it seems like the time is right. I was in the right place at the right time. But, I've stuck to my ideas, so there you go.
Lastly, music is a big part of James Gunn's films.
Oh, yeah.
A very big part. Today we lost a music legend in Clive Davis. Tell me about, you guys crossed paths but never really worked together. Can you tell me about his legacy?
Oh, Clive, I think, he was a real music lover. He, in the business, in the music business, they say that, he was a real signer, and that's what he was. And he developed people, I think that's a real, something that is a real talent, a real special feel, and a dedication, Sorry, Clive.
Thank you so much. Real pleasure. Hey, on, man.
How you doing?
Good. A little closer. Right there. Sure. Perfect. All right, man. Here we are. Your latest installment of your version of the Superman universe. Tell me how timely it is to have Supergirl with us today.
Listen, I don't think of it as, timely necessarily. I just think it's an opportunity to bring a great graphic novel to life. That was done really well. We found the right writer in Anna. We found the right director in Craig Gillespie, and we found the right star in Millie Alcock. Not to mention, I would have been had my butt kicked by Jason Momoa if I didn't make him Lobo soon. So we had to put Lobo in there.
That's the problem with those big, strong actors.
Yeah, you don't make those guys your friends because then they just, really go on and on and on until you make them Lobo.
Now, what is it that you saw? I mean, obviously you have a lot of work under your belt in the MCU. What is it that you saw in this beloved Superman story that made you think that, hey, I can go under the hood and make this even better?
Nothing. I think it was just, when Peter and I first were hired to work on Superman, it was more out of like, I don't know how to do this. I got to figure it out. It's like a challenge, I like to challenge myself. I like to challenge myself with each movie, find something different and exciting about each project that where I can learn as I'm going along and hopefully become a better filmmaker. And Superman was a tough one. I didn't know how to crack that nut off the top. I had to keep writing and working on it until I could figure it out.
What I loved, it was finally the first time that the most obvious thing, that Clark Kent is Superman, was dealt with. Tell me about what it was was that something that was so blatant that you said, how could nobody know that Clark Kent is Superman, especially Lois Lane?
Yeah, that was actually with Tom King, who wrote this book. I was sitting with him, and I was talking about I was talking about how I always, no matter how outlandish the premise is, I come from the place that, well, what if it was real? If a Rocket Raccoon was real, a real talking raccoon, where did he come from? How did he come to be? If Superman was real, a guy who flies around, fights crime, wears costumes, how would his mind frame be? Where would he come from? And I think that I was saying the one thing I haven't figured out is the glasses. Like, why does nobody know that he's Superman? And Tom's like, well, there's a canon reason for it, and the hypno glasses were actually in the comics. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to put those in there.
And the last thing is the music. I mean, one of the great things about the stuff that you work on is it was a of great music, and this ink as well.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the music.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just going through the movie and finding the things that represented Supergirl best. She's very eclectic, but also there's a lot of, female-led singing rock songs. Wet Leg is one of my favorite bands. They're in the movie. Sleigh Bells up front, and so many great. Plus she's got the Blondie T-shirt on, which is my favorite because Deborah Harry's here tonight, and Blondie that's one of my favorite all-time bands. So that was great. That was a great choice by Craig Gillespie to have her in that shirt.
The legacy of Clive Davis passed today. What does his legacy mean to you?
I didn't know that Clive Davis passed today. I've been out all day. That's sad. Yeah, he certainly brought a lot to music.
Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What do you want her? Right there's good. Right there's good. Yep. All right, here we are. Big night. How you feeling?
Amazing. It is so surreal, and I can't believe it. I mean, it's amazing.
What's it like to be in this universe, in the Supergirl universe?
I can't quite comprehend it. I mean, if you told me 2 years ago I'd be part of the DC universe, I would not believe you. When I found out I was a part of it, I just cried. Because, I mean, kids grow up watching this, and now you're a part of it.
What does she represent to a young woman, Supergirl today?
That you can be messy, you can be, you can wake up late and you can just not brush your hair. Sometimes your biggest imperfections are your greatest strength, and that you can be your own hero.
Making the movie, tell me a little bit about what that took. I mean, obviously, what we see on screen is always so perfect, but it takes a lot of time to make these films work. What was hard for you?
I think the stunt side of things. I mean, by the end, it was like a party trick because I got so good at it, just to say myself, but it was definitely the most fun. It was so grateful to have such an amazing stunt crew, but I didn't come onto this project thinking I would do that side of things, so to be told that I was going to learn how to fight with a sword, that was the best feeling ever.
Really?
Yeah.
So what kind of training did that take?
Stunt training involved sword training, staff training, boxing, mixed martial arts, and wire work. A lot, and you just have to keep up with it all. But we did 2 months of stunt training, and it was the best. I would just do it a million times over if I could.
So is that the kind of thing that you've kept up? Once you start to have that kind of training, do you want to, like, say, mixed martial arts or more active training? Is that part of your regimen?
It used to be, but then I got so busy with obviously the filming side of things afterwards. So I definitely want to go back to karate. I used to do it. I got up to a yellow belt, which I'm very proud of. But I mean, I do gymnastics, I do tumbling, so that's kind of my weekly sport.
That is brilliant. Thank you so much. Real
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you.
Hi, Millie. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good. You're good right there. I'm going to stay back. Okay, here we are. Big day, world premiere in Brooklyn. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. I'm great. I'm ready for it to be out in the world. I'm really excited for everyone to go see it. Yeah.
What is it like, obviously, jumping into a role, that we kind of know, but yet you put your own fresh take on it, James's fresh take, Craig's fresh take, making it your own. Tell me a little bit about how you made Supergirl your own.
I think that I was given the gift of a really beautiful script by Anna, and this iteration of Supergirl is kind of a different version of what I've ever seen her before, so I just kind of brought myself. She has a lot of humility, a lot of grit, a lot of compassion. She's beautifully tough, so it felt like I just had the privilege of lifting what was on the page.
What I love about this, it seems like the perfect superhero for the perfect time. To give lots of young women something to cheer for. How does that feel? Does it make you feel like a role model?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a privilege, and I don't just want young girls to see this film. I want young boys to see this film and go, I want to be as tough as her. My sister is as strong as her and as brave as her, and to recognize that strength. So, yeah, I'm completely honored. It's such a privilege.
Making a film like this, it's fun to watch, but it's really hard to make. It's grueling. Tell me what the training was like for you.
The training wasn't too bad. work out in the morning before shooting, but then during pre-production, I would do that and then do a 2-hour stunt training slot, which sounded more rigorous than it was, but it was just kind of getting really comfortable in the choreography of stunt work.
Lastly, I just have to ask you about the reluctance of the character and taking on this role. Tell me a little bit about that dynamic.
Of whose reluctance am I?
Yeah.
I mean, it's committing to something so huge is terrifying. Yeah, and I think like all life-changing, beautiful experiences, there's fear that comes within that. I'm sure new parents aren't like, yay, I'm so excited, you know? Or new couples, like, it's a part of life is to have these contradicting beliefs, and that's what makes us so human. So for me, it was kind of just learning what voice in my head to really listen to.
Love the dog. Anyway, thank you so much. Pleasure. Hello, how are you?
So nice to meet you. Hi, I'm good.
I'm John.
Hi, John.
I know where to go.
He's a pro.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are. Tell me a little bit about how you rock, like obviously good source material
Great
to work
source material.
on, but obviously how
I had
did
to
you
do
work
something.
so bad?
Yeah. Well, I love the source material, so that is number one, and it was like so emotional and so compelling. And then I kind of had to like, do some screenwriting, structure-y stuff that is like really boring but somewhat necessary, and take what I absolutely loved and try to give the same spirit.
What I'm always curious of is we can write anything that we want.
Yeah.
But to actually do it on film or however you're shooting is another story.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, was there stuff that you wrote into the original script that was going to be a real challenge to shoot?
Oh, for sure. There's things that you write that don't make it in for various reasons. Some are because it's a challenge to shoot. Things that maybe you wouldn't expect. There's like a force field in the movie, and I think that that's like challenging in certain ways, so things had to shift there. But honestly, our team was so amazing that some of my biggest ideas, they just made them happen.
And then last question, we don't see enough female superheroes. Obviously, this is one of the biggest films we've seen. How does that feel in the reach that it could possibly have?
It's really overwhelming, honestly. It's hard to take in completely, the reach of it. I just hope, when I saw Millie in that trench coat, I was like, if I was 16 and I saw this girl, I would just think that she was the coolest girl, and Millie is the coolest girl. So I just hope it reaches like all of those teenagers, girls and boys, and that they think that she's as badass as I think she is.
It's brilliant. Thank you so much. Real
Thank you
pleasure.
so much. Thank you.
I made a play with you.
Yeah, do it. Lots of love.
Good friends with me. Room is red.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. Gentlemen. All right.
Look out. That's a big camera he's got going on.
Yeah. All right, man. Here we are. Obviously, the next installment in this universe. You being a part of it. Tell me a little bit about what James has done to Superman and Supergirl as we know them.
Amazingly, when I first met with James and Peter about this film, I said, how much do you want this to be part of the Superman universe? And he surprisingly said, not at all. He said, we're going to approach each of these films like their own graphic novel, like specific to that writer and illustrator. This is your graphic novel, which was both intimidating and exhilarating to actually have that opportunity.
playing a legendary character in a film, obviously one that everybody knows, putting your own take on it, what's the challenge?
It always comes down to script for me. Anna Navarra wrote this beautiful, complicated character for Supergirl. Flawed, complex, emotionally available, but dealing with trauma. To be able to get that on the screen was what I was most excited about.
And then lastly, what is the magic that James has, having worked in the MCU and now coming to DC? What is it that makes the projects that you work with him come to life from an actor's perspective?
I think James does a wonderful job of connecting emotionally with the characters, but also finding that thing is so hard, which is tone. Like a dance between the humor and the drama. And he makes the films for the audience, and that's always something that I think they appreciate.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
David, tell me about the next installment of this universe. Hurry up.
I'm so sorry, I'm getting
We can do one. So good. Good. How are you doing? All right, here we are. The next installment of what James has done with this franchise. How does it feel to be part of it? And tell me what we got to look forward to in the next one with you.
Well, I can't say a whole lot about ours. I haven't yet seen Supergirl. I'm so excited. I've been such a fan of Millie's from afar, and she just embodies this character, and I can't wait to see her in action. I see a little bit of her at the end of Superman. I'm just excited about what James is building. He's put his faith in so many different directors, like Craig, my friend James Hawes, who did Lanterns, or did the pilot of Lanterns. I'm so excited to see the ways in which this universe has been spinning off.
Thank you so much. Have fun tonight.